Hey guys, it's Caitlin and welcome to my January 2022 bullet journal setup video. The bullet journal I'm using today is the Made of Stars dotted journal from the Quirky Cup Collective in the size A5. Without further ado, let's get started. So these will be the Tombow jewel markers I'll be using this month in the shades 603 and 192. I'm going in with my Uni-Ball fine liner. So in the month of January, I decided to do a theme around growth. I really hope I can do a lot of growing this year and really push myself out of my comfort zone. Although I guess you could say that this YouTube channel is already me going out of my comfort zone. So since my theme is growth, I landed on lavender and ivy as my little drawings that I would sprinkle throughout my book. Now I'm going in with my Uni-Ball Ultra Micro liner. So instead of doing a typical quote page, I just decided to do the definition of growth itself. I just wanted to give a quick thank you to all the support that you guys gave me on my first ever YouTube video last month. I really appreciate all the support and I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Growth is a process of developing physically, mentally, or spiritually, which I think is a great reminder to remember that growth isn't always something that you can physically see. Sometimes growth is what happens on the inside that others cannot see but you can definitely notice. So I'd like to remind myself and everyone else watching to be proud of the growth you make mentally or spiritually, because sometimes the physical growth that we try to achieve is very unhealthy as we can compare ourselves to others more often than not. So just remember that mental growth is just as important as physical growth in terms of leading a happier and healthier life. So I'm kind of a dummy. I realized that they were called Tombow jewel tip pens, but I didn't see that the other side of the cap came off, and I didn't realize in my last setup, so I could have been using the thinner marker side. Oh well, you learn from your mistakes, and I guess I know now. So I'm just finishing up my quote page by adding a last little pop of colour using my lilac and pastel green colour. So the inspiration behind this cover page was this quirky, asymmetrical plant shelf that I saw on Google Images. I thought I'd try and recreate it as I really love the look of it and I thought I could weave the word January in there to make it look very cute. So I'd really love to hear what theme you guys chose for your January 2022 bullet journal setup. Let me know in the comments down below. Next I'm adding a few drawings such as a watering can, some potted ivy, and a few pots of lavender. Now I'm finally going in and adding the structure to the plant shelf. Now I'm going in and adding the title for the monthly cover page. So I know my strengths and weaknesses, and calligraphy is not one of my strengths judging by last month's setup video. I didn't want to risk it and have the same wonky calligraphy that I did in my last setup video, so I decided to just outline it like so and then fill it in afterwards for, the same effect. I'm finishing up the plant shelf now and adding any final touches and using my POSCA paint marker to fix up any mistakes I make along the way. To finish up this page, I'm just adding one last little lavender plant. I accidentally made this line here on the shelf a little bit too thick, so I went back in and added my POSCA marker to fix it up and redraw it. I decided to use black marker to colour in the title, but I wish I used some colour instead because it's not quite how I wish it looked. Now I'm going in and adding some colour to the ivy and lavender and adding any finishing touches before moving on to my next page. Moving over to the next page, we got my monthly calendar spread. I'm starting off with a small cursive title in the top left corner. I'm adding a few little sparkle drawings around the title, as I added a lot of them in my yearly spread and I wanted to keep it a little bit cohesive. And of course, no calendar is complete without the days of the week. And just like the previous pages, I'll be adding some ivy and lavender doodles around the page. So if you saw my previous video, you would have seen my atrocious attempt at drawing freehand straight lines, and it went terribly. Although I did resort to using a ruler for most of my spreads later on in the journal, I wasn't really happy with how straight and perfect they look, because I'm much more of a fan of the, drawn on look. So I ended up doing some research and I found Amanda Rachley's video on how to draw straight lines freehand, and it really helped me. As you can see, it helps immensely, and I think my lines look pretty straight if you ask me compared to last time. If you also struggle to draw straight lines freehand but want to learn how, I'll link her video in my description down below. Now I'm just going in and adding the days of the week, and now I'll repeat the whole process on the other page. If you've enjoyed the video so far, maybe leave a like, comment or subscribe, as it really helps push my videos and my channel out to more people. I had some room over on the right side of the page, so I decided to add some lavender doodles, but you can of course add anything you want, like milestone trackers or even a mood tracker for the month. Now I'm going in with my Tombow jewel tip markers to add some colour. I'm a really big fan of these colours and I really like how they complement each other well. On this page I've got my habit trackers as well as my mood tracker in the middle there. For the title, I'm making the fonts different for a little bit of contrast. I'm marking out 6 boxes for the 6 habits that I want to track this month. The habits that I'll be tracking this month are hydration, skincare, cleaning, exercise, cooking, and eating healthy. I'm curious to know what habits you guys like to track. Let me know in the comments down below. So for my mood tracker, I decided to make a lavender plant in the middle of the page with 31 petals for the days of the month. I think I prefer mood trackers that are a little bit more creative and related to the theme, as I think it will help me stay motivated to fill them out, and I really love the look of them when they're all coloured in. So I forgot to add the colour indicators for what mood I'm feeling that day, so I'm just adding them in now. Now I'm drawing out 31 circles that represent each day of the month in each of my habit tracker boxes. I headed over to my meal prep page to start on it, then I realised I forgot to colour in this side, so that's why there's a little bit of an ivy drawn on that page. I accidentally covered the leaves of the lavender plant purple, but I went over with my green marker and it went over it just fine, thankfully. Now I'm adding the colours to my emotion indicator. Sad is the light colour, average is the medium tone one, and happy is the dark tone one. Now I'm starting on my meal prep page. I'm sure a lot of you guys don't care about a meal prep page, but I thought it would really help me stay on track with eating healthy this year. I'm dividing out 6 boxes for the weeks, and here I can meal prep and have a visual of what I'll be eating each week, as well as see when I'm running low on food and need a restock. That way I'm less inclined to run out of food and be like, well, I guess I need to order takeout tonight. Surprisingly, I haven't used barely any drop shadows this entire spread, so I decided to fix that. I'm adding some ivy doodles over on this page and then writing out each week. Off to the right side of the page, I'm adding a vertical title with some sparkles. This page was lacking colour, so I decided to add some along the edges to make it look like little tabs. Finally, we flip over to my last page, my weekly spread. I'm once again adding sparkles to the title to make it cohesive. Do you guys also like watching people draw straight lines? Because I find it really satisfying. So I've been thinking about starting an art journal because I want another creative outlet that I can also share with you guys here on YouTube. I'm not quite sure when I'll start that because I would need to buy the supplies for it, but it'll be sometime this year for sure. Now I'm just going ahead and writing out the dates for the week. I'm adding this lavender piece on the side as an accent border. This little section down at the bottom titled This Week is where I'll be putting any tasks that I need to complete throughout the week. Now I'm adding some dividers and a pop of colour to finish off the page. I'm fixing my mistake with my POSCA white paint marker. This thing is seriously a lifesaver. And that is my January 2022 bullet journal setup finished. Here's the final flip through. I really loved how my monthly setup came out, and I also love seeing how much I improved from my yearly setup video. I just want to say another thank you for all the support on my last video. It really meant the world to me. I hope I can continue to do this and you guys enjoy my upcoming spreads. Let me know what spread you guys like the most from my January setup. I think I really like the habits tracker the most, and I can't wait to fill out my mood tracker. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next month for my February Plan With Me video. See you in the next video.